it has been 3 years since your last release. Are you looking to keep moving as an artist, or are you focused more on the aspect of business in regards to your clothing? You do have a label. Are you being now more of a businessman than you are being an artist?
Nah, I don't think so. I think that the business-minded side of me remains the same. I think I'll still be involved on trying to be creative outside of music, and on a business level. That remains the same. I think that as an artist, I don't really see myself, not making music at any point. Even as an old dude, you know what I mean? I think that I still want to create music. You know what I'm saying? And whether it might be a different style or it might evolve from what I'm doing now. But I don't see any real reason why, artistically, I would need to not really create it anymore. It's something that I would still want to do. You know what I'm saying?
I just think it's a little difficult. Like, you have that head on your shoulders, but it's sometimes difficult to juggle between being an artist and a business person at the same time. And only few can run with it, good both things. And seeing as how we haven't seen an album from you in a while, so that question came up.
Well, it's a good question. It's a valid question, and to balance, I'm kind of notorious for being like 2 years between albums now.
Yes.
Okay. I have done that. This is kind of the longest stretch, so there are definitely some things that I've realized that I have to do different to balance that out. When working with outside projects or working with the family, Dead Silence, I have to do some things a little different to kind of balance those things out so that the family members can make their records and I can continue to create my records. That's that balance that I need to strike. But ironically, there's a little more to why I've been between records this long, a little different than before. And this is probably the first time that I'm, I guess kind of exclusive, I guess you could say, on why there's been a delay between records. So in 2010, I released the Upside of Struggle record, right? And sometime maybe February of 2011, I was driving home from work one day, and I'm at a red light, and my beard used to be pretty long, right? Like this. I don't know if you ever seen some old pictures, but I was just kind of going like this with the beard, and I ran my hand down my throat like this, and I felt a lump right here in my throat. And so very quickly, I went to see a doctor, and I got diagnosed with throat cancer. So after Upside of Struggle, which I was supporting and doing shows, I was doing little mini tours or whatever, trying to do some shows around here. I basically got, I got kind of hit with an obstacle, and I was diagnosed with throat cancer, and I immediately, a couple months after that, had to start to do treatments and whatnot. And so I went through what people go through when they get cancer, which is chemotherapy, which is radiation treatment. So for 7 weeks straight, I would hit every day. I would go to the hospital, and I would get radiation treatment on my throat, right? And then I went through a few sessions of chemotherapy as well. And that caused, it caused all the natural side effects that you get from going through that, which is I felt very shitty. I lost a lot of weight. It's one way to lose weight, but I did lose a lot of weight. And my throat was fried basically for a long time. So I went through a lot of a challenging time during that. And you don't think about you only think about, when you think about treatments and whatnot, you think about what you're gonna go through at the moment, but you don't always think about what the side effects are, how prolonged the side effects will be. So, like, I thought, all right, cool, we'll get it done, it should be cool, you know what I mean, we'll move on, but it actually sent me back a good amount to where, I lost all of my taste buds, I couldn't taste a thing, my mouth was completely dry, all my saliva glands were fried up. and there was a lot of really bad days where I felt really bad. So that set me back months, and to get back to normal, surprisingly, man, I'm just now kind of getting back to that point where I feel balanced. Also because it does a little something here, because you get that radiation all in your head and everything, and it's all in this area. So I started to find that balance once again, most recently. But overall, that was that obstacle. That was that wrench that was thrown at me that I didn't share with anybody. I hadn't shared that with anybody at all, with any interviews at least. You know what I'm saying? So this is actually the first time that I've made it public that I went through that, and it was not for the reason I thought about sharing it before, but sometimes I get busy. You know what I mean? I don't share it, but no shame really. It's just. I felt that it was just a private matter at the time. My family and I were going through it, and the idea was, to hopefully find the primary source, because they couldn't. There was a tumor here in my neck, but they didn't know exactly where the cancer was. So what they had to do was several tests and different biopsies, and if they didn't find the primary source, then they wanted to do surgery and cut out all of my lymph nodes on my left side of my neck and on the right side, just in case we were getting to the other side. So I remember, after doing all the tests, the biopsies, and the CAT scans and the MRIs and all that stuff, they finally did another biopsy where they went down in there and they can actually see where the cancer was on the throat. They pinpointed it, and they were able to just attack a certain area. Because if they hadn't done that, they were going to treat it, and it had gone. If it goes away, it's gone away now. I'm in remission now. It's been about 2 years since I've been in remission, so we're good there. But I had a lot of support. Thank you. I had a lot of support from the family, the homies. I mean, we set up a network for transportation because, like I said, I had to go every day of the week, and the only place I could go was either Ontario or the Hollywood Hospital. And so just the traffic and the drive alone, they had different people driving me every day of the week. Cinco drove me one day. Mexicali from Breezewood drove me one day. Another homie of mine drove me another day. My wife drove me another day, and it was cool. It saved us gas money. It just allowed my family to still do what they had to do. But the alternative was, if they didn't find it, or even to this case, if it comes back again, then the surgery is if they want to cut out part of the tongue, right? So I'm like, okay, that's pretty fucked up, because who wants to get part of their tongue cut out? And especially if I'm gonna try to write, if I still want to be vocal, that was gonna be an issue. So thank God everything is cool. And so the 3 years, I have a pretty good explanation for that. And it was the cancer came and fucked me up for a little while, but we're cool. We beat it, so we're still right here making records.
We didn't know that, so I apologize.
There's no reason to apologize, man. It's a valid question, and I drew that answer because it made sense, right? If you're aware that a couple of years, you're a 2 year per album guy, and now there's 3.5 years gone by. What's up? There it is, you know what I mean? So it makes perfect sense, man. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.